That is poor from Hisai again as he lets Daniel de Groot play a quick 1-2 and he drives forward. De Groot lifts one in. Ødegaard! And Martin Ødegaard strikes at Anfield after 14 minutes. And yet again, it's come from Liverpool's right-hand side. Oh, Hisai's won that ball back off, has picked our pocket, and surely, yep, Liverpool won. Graafschap won. Oh, it's come from our own error as well, trying to play our way out of defence. It's a great pick out to an Mark Zielinski. And you know what? I've been ripping him apart in this game here, Hisai, but I have to give him credit there. He picked the pocket really well of Greg Taylor. Slid in just in front of him. It's not brilliant goalkeeping from Andre Onana, but when the player's in that position, that close, you can't really ask him to do much more, but spreads it out towards Ødegaard. 1-2 with Ravel Morrison. It's absolutely brilliant. Ødegaard gets it back and pulls it back. And that is a brilliant move, finished off quite sensationally by Miron Boadu. That is what you love to see. Tell you, when we put moves together like this, nobody stops us. The cutback from Ødegaard towards Boadu, and the finish is quality. That's why we give him the nod over anybody else. Look at that, first time inside of the foot, top corner, no chance for Ter Stegen. Dream start here. The one thing we didn't do at Camp Nou was score. We've already done that here, fantastic. Does enough to put his man off, and there is the full-time whistle. Barcelona 0, the Graafschap 1. We take down the Spanish Giants. We owed them after last time at the Camp Nou. And that, my friends, depending on results elsewhere, has secured our spot at least in the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Hello everybody and welcome back to some more career mode heading your way today. I hope you're having a great day, and today we will find ourselves out who awaits us in the Champions League knockout rounds. If you missed the last episode, we have managed to secure our spot in the knockout rounds in at least second place in the group, potentially even going through as group winners depending on how we play in our final group stage game today against CSKA. So that is going to come up for you later on in the episode, but in between that, 3 league games. We are currently unbeaten as well in the Eredivisie this season, so looking to continue that. We don't want to lose a game anytime soon, but this first game was at 5th placed AZ Alkmaar at home, so I had to take no chances here, and we didn't start off too well inside the opening minutes. It was a bit of a nervy start. Onana came to punch out a cross, and then we got in a bit of a mix-up that led to them having an opportunity. We grew into the game, though. Patrick with a good effort from very close range there. Well saved by the goalkeeper. And then Ødegaard found him again as he had another shot. We know the capability he has got, of course, with the shots coming in. This time, though, it was again saved, but from the resulting corner, Ødegaard gets it, sends one in, and Ravel Morrison, of all people, pops up on the edge of the area with quite the header indeed. I mean, how he's won this and how he's been able to find the target, I have no idea, because I honestly didn't expect Ravel Morrison to even get this anywhere near the goal. I saw him go for it and I thought, this is going to be a bit audacious, is it not? But we timed it perfectly and it found its way into that bottom corner and we were 1-0 in front here. So, bit of a nervy start, but like I said, grew into the game. We're able to then dominate from that point forward. We then went into the second half where Chong looked for a through ball. Again, Patrick involved in a lot of this in this game as he hit the woodwork there. Honestly, how he didn't score up until this point was beyond me. He had an abundance of chances, but he just could not find the back of the net. Ravel Morrison again testing the palms of the goalkeeper. It's one-way traffic for the large majority of this. Bites it down the right, sends another cross in, and finally he got his goal. He was trying to find it for so long in the game that I think if we'd have come off at this point and Patrick hadn't have scored, we'd be kicking ourselves pretty much. But it was Beister down the right, the fullback again, who set him up, and he managed to squeeze it in from that angle. And things got even better for us with about 25 minutes to go. Substitute even Herrera links up really nicely with Ravel Morrison, sends it back towards him, and it's the tap-in for his second of the match as well. So 3-0 up, 3 points definitely in the bag at this point, but unfortunately for us, we could not keep the clean sheet for Andre Onana as they came forward. And Johnson, I think it was, or Johnson, I don't know. He had a close effort, which was thumped into the back of the net past Andre Onana, and it made it 3-1. So no clean sheet, but I'm pretty safe to say this. 3 points in the bag, and that was the way the game panned out. So 3-1 win, 3 points added to the collection, still unbeaten as well. A very good performance, of course, Patrick grabbing his goal like he wanted to all game long. It's just a shame we could not have got that clean sheet that we came here today for. But that's the way football goes sometimes. And 5th place, AZ Alkmaar, 3-1 win is nothing to turn away. But then following that, we had a difficult away trip to Venlo, a side who currently sits in the bottom half of the table, but we can't take that for too much. It was still going to be a difficult test, and we had CSKA coming up. Following this, we had a bit of a gap though, so I could actually name a pretty strong team. And I got to give major props as we begin this one to Miron Boadu, because Milivojevic is the player who picks the pocket of the Venlo defense as they try and play their way out. But if you watch this back, the way that Boadu is able to just stay on side, hold his run long enough for Milivojevic to play that ball through, it is really good striker play. You'll see he holds it enough. There's the ball through. He's completely free one-on-one. When he's in this position, if you're a betting man, your money's going on it. He's finishing it, and that's exactly what he did. So I felt Venlo would have kicked themselves for really, giving us the chance the way they did. We nearly had a second through Miron Boadu again. Really nicely worked. Keeper makes a bit of a meal of the cross. We put it back in, and Boadu is there to try and send it goalwards, but not enough on that. And then in the second half, about 16 or so minutes to go, nicely crafted chance. Gibbs White can't find the finish. But there was still time for us to add the second to the mixer after they went close. Venlo here, you can see, watch, comes from their attack. It's the ball back into the box, picked up by Greg Taylor. Daniel de Groot is the outlet ball. He plays it to Erdegaard. Erdegaard one more to Gibbs White, bursting down on the right-hand side. 10 to go to finish off the game and secure the points. Is exactly what Gibbs White did. So, very similar. 2-goal advantage like we had against AZ in the first game. We were able to get 2 against Venlo here, and I thought we played well. We did our job. We did what we had to do. We came here, difficult place, we dominated, and we got the goals that mattered when they were required. So, 2-0 win, 2 wins on the bounce, 6 points out of 6. But all this was in the build-up to the final group stage game against CSKA. Are we going to finish first or second out of the group? I spoke about it last time. It's still going to be incredibly tough no matter who we get. Without further ado, I'll leave you in the very capable hands of myself for the live comm of this game. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our final group stage game of the Champions League. We know we're through to the knockout rounds, at least in second place, but we of course want the top spot in the group. As you can see, this is how it looks. So we top it, Barca in second, CSKA in third. For them, there's still the opportunity. In fact, so have Liverpool. They've all still got an opportunity to go through in second place. Barcelona, of course, the only side that can catch us in first, and it requires us losing and, of course, them winning. So for us, we are guaranteed knockout round football. And then, of course, we wait and see who's going to be awaiting us in that next round. Taking a look, as we did at the last sort of few minutes of the last episode, we noticed there was quite a lot of strong teams in their second places of their particular leagues, but also in that first place as well, So I think whatever happens, we just have to take it game by game and go as we do. But for now, we're going to head into this one against CSKA. The side has already been selected. I'm already ready for this. And, of course, what awaits us is potentially top spot out of the group or second. Not too worried either way, because no matter which way we finish, we're still going to be in with an incredibly tough tie awaiting us once we come out of this one. But the future is very much still in the hands of CSKA, Liverpool and Barcelona, because, of course, those three are still fighting for a way into the Champions League knockout round. Milivojevic towards Taylor. Ball at his feet, finds Ravel Morrison. Ravel Morrison to Gibbs White. Gibbs White looks for a return towards him, gets it off as well. Morrison! Wide of the corner, and it was a very good chance as well for Morrison. I'm going to take responsibility, though, because I did not time it very well at all, and that's the reason why it's gone completely off target. So, it's my mistake, but we did carve them open really well there. Can be happy the way we managed to break through, just got to finish it. So far, so good here. Scoreline not in our favour, but the way the game's panning out certainly is in our favour. We have been the better side here in this half an hour. Remember as well, CSKA fighting for their lives in the Champions League, but also for Europa League spot as well, depending on how Liverpool are getting on against Barca. All that will have to be wait and found out at half-time as the cross is swung in the head of Chong. Meets it, but Akinfeev is on hand. It was not a great header, was it, from Chong? But we're 10 minutes away from half-time. We've controlled most of the play here in Russia, but there is still that opportunity with CSKA fighting for their lives for them to really come at us in the second half. And I'm intrigued to see how Liverpool are getting on against Barca, because that is the one game I need to keep tabs on. I'm not sure who I want to get through in the second spot of our group, really. Obviously, a draw here for us, by the way, will do it. We will secure top spot if we draw this game at least. Short corner with Ravel Morrison. Lays it off towards Jesse on the edge of the area. Arrives on it and gets the strike away. Didn't really test Akinfeev too much, but we are approaching half-time with that then. Just don't get caught on the counter just before the break, and we should be all right. Straumann wins a good header, and it actually sets us up nicely to have one more attack here as Jesse looks for the over-the-top ball to Ravel Morrison. And he's not going to win that. But at half-time then, we have come to Russia. We've dominated proceedings in the first half. Just no goal to show for it. At the minute, we don't know how it's going on elsewhere. So let's find out very quickly before we move forward in this and see what's going on. Liverpool 0, Barcelona 0 so far in that one, which keeps the group exactly the same. Because, of course, Barca are in second place. And as they are drawing, we just keep our positions, honestly. And the thing is as well, for us, I did mention it, the draw is enough. So we don't actually have to win the game here. Same sort of style as we had in the first, dominating the play. Milivojevic from distance, maybe. Oh, if he'd have got that right, we might have been in front there. He has got a pretty decent shot on him. Not quite as good as Patrick, though. And I'm thinking about some changes here as we approach this one. All 3 changes made for us, by the way, so we cannot make another one now. We have made all of our available substitutions as we are 8 minutes away from securing the top spot in this group stage. It will be done through the draw, though, if we can hold on to this. As Chong, a little bit of skill, gets him away. Beister's available, and we go back towards Gibbs-White. Patrick can hit them from distance. I am thinking about it here. It's a little bit difficult to break them down through us actually playing passes as we find Gibbs-White, who's got Herrera just in front of him. Going to go back to Patrick. Let's just strike one and see. Unbelievably, Patrick's got injured from taking a shot himself. And the frustrating thing is we've already made 3 subs, so he's going to have to come off and we'll be down to 10 men. I don't know how he's injured himself taking a shot, but if he has done, he was only subbed on at like 50-odd minutes. And he may well have to come off. I'm not going to be letting him take the corner then, am I? Let's face it. If he's just come on and done that, I'm not going to let him take the corner. 3 minutes to go. Erdegaard to swing this in. If we can get the winner now, it'd be fantastic. And Chong sends his header over the bar. 2 minutes to go. I have absolutely no idea what Patrick did because he's now just run it off. So, can't have been too serious of an injury, can it, if he's able to run it off straight away? No idea what happened, to be fair. No, and I have seen it before, but not when he's got, like, the legs and only just come on as a substitute. I've seen it when, like, players are really tired and then they're taking a shot on, like, cramp or whatever. But, yeah, that was weird. But still, a 0-0 draw here is enough to secure our top spot. Very, very drab game. Let me just say that. Neither side really did a lot in this one. And if you're basing it off this performance, I think it's safe to say that should we get through and have a really tough tie, we would be considered to be going out of it. I mean, we weren't good here tonight. Neither were they, to be fair. So they don't know how their current future lies because, of course, if Liverpool beat Barca, I think that would put them into second place. I'm not sure what the head-to-head record is like between CSKA and Liverpool, but let's find out. So, Liverpool did beat Barcelona away from home. So what does that now mean for the Champions League group? Well, Barca will not be heading through to the Champions League. They will be out of it because they are actually now behind on points to Liverpool, I believe. Let me just double check that. Let me see. So the Champions League group stage then. This is how it finished. Yeah, Liverpool head into it. Wow. They scored 3 goals in the group stage and they've made it through. I mean, obviously, as in terms of that, I love to see English teams progressing, so I'm kind of glad that Liverpool have got through. Barcelona drop it into the Europa League, and CSKA are completely out. That is... I did not expect that, I'll put it that way. Especially, Liverpool beat Barca twice then. No, they drew. They drew with them there on the 30th of September, and then beat them at the Camp Nou. Holy, did not think Liverpool would make it through. So for us then, as group winners, we will face either Bayer Leverkusen, Sporting CP, Roma, Napoli, Manchester United, AS Monaco, or Borussia Dortmund. I think Sporting are the team I'm looking at. We played them, didn't we, I think last year in our Europa League group. So, out of the draws, I think that's the one I want the most. But we'll find out who it's going to be in just a few moments' time. As you know, we don't have Erdegaard following this season because he goes back to Real Madrid as he is their player, of course. We've had him on loan for 2 years. But I stumbled across this, and we have been looking at players to potentially bring in on pre-contracts. And Serge Gnabry is available from Bayern Munich, right? Now, I was not actually going to sign him because I looked at his wages and I was like, there's no chance that we're going to match that. I was looking around because he just sustained an injury to Sherpin, which meant I had to try and find a backup goalkeeper. I've promoted one from our youth academy. I'll show you him in a second. But I came across the fact that my assistant is saying we can approach Gnabry and only offer £39,000 a week to get him. I can afford about £45,000 to £50,000 a week, and maybe a little bit more. But I was expecting to see this like 150 to 200,000. If this works, I am unbelievably confused. I mean, I know we're about to, well, we've won one Eredivisie title. We're potentially going to win a second. And of course, we've just advanced through in the Champions League. But if he takes a massive pay cut to join us, then that would be absolutely ridiculous. So crucial, 4 years. Like I said, I don't think he's gonna accept anything less than 100 and odd. But we'll see. Discuss his salary. So as you can see, I have £112,000 a week. So I'm gonna go to 65 grand a week. If he accepts this, I don't believe it. Genuinely don't believe it. Now, what would be absolutely crazy with this is that if we are to stick around with the Graafschap and try and win them a major trophy, or the Champions League, sorry, we would have to get a significant upgrade in our team. Unbelievably, Serge Gnabry is coming to the club next year. 65 grand a week. So here's what's going to happen. Oh, 70 grand a week, sorry. Here's the plan, okay? When he does eventually join us next year, I'm going to let you guys decide whether or not we can use him or not. Because it does seem a little bit ridiculous for him to have joined us. Especially given the circumstances, playing at Bayern Munich, he could have a lot of teams calling for him, especially at that rating. So the plan is, he's going to join us regardless. Then it's up to you whether or not we're allowed to use him. Because, like I mentioned, if you guys want me to stay around and try and win the Champions League with this team, I feel we'd have to make major upgrades. And one of those would have to be a winger. Because outside of De Groot and Jesse, Erdegaard's not our player. Chong hasn't really done the business for us when we've needed him to. So I feel like we'd have to get in a big winger, which is why Neres was one of the players I was looking at. But of course, didn't have the transfer funds to bring him in. We're probably not going to have the transfer funds either. Another player that I want to bring in is another goalkeeper, this time Zoet from PSV. Another rival. He could join us for free, and he would play backup to Andre Onana. So let's see if we can make this one happen. £20,000 a week for Zoet, and he's happy with that. So a second pre-contract signing, and that is all our money will allow, is Zoet coming in next year alongside Serge Gnabry. Of course, we will decide whether or not we're going to use Serge Gnabry at a later date. But it does mean that we do have a backup goalkeeper now for Onana. So Sherfin may well be leaving the club next year. So here is the youth academy goalkeeper that I promoted. Pretty much, well, I don't want to say useless, but he's not going to be fantastic. And if we need to use him, then we might be in trouble. So let's fingers crossed, no injury to Onana. 5-star weak foot, 6'4", not too bad. And yeah, pretty happy with that. So we still don't know the Champions League group, the Champions League knockout rounds draw. That is yet to be made. We do have a game here against Fortuna, and then after this, we should find it out. So we're going to go into this game and head into this and try and win. And then it's all about who have we got in the next round. And the plan, my friends, was to give you this as a live com, but unfortunately, I'd muted my sound and forgot that I had it muted. So I spent the entire game talking through this and came back and realised afterwards that it was all muted, so there was no sound. So that's a really, really good thing that I've done there, isn't it? I'm such an idiot at times, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting it down to today, though. It's very hot in the UK, so I'm going to say that's why my brain was a bit fried. So, yeah, that's my excuse. But the game here actually didn't really matter too much. The more important thing I was waiting for was just about this Champions League draw scene, waiting to see who we got. So Fortuna were the side we were facing, still unbeaten, of course, at this time. Would be great to continue that. We scored first through Daniel de Groot. We went close again through the same player. Daniel de Groot again testing the goalkeeper. But the big thing out of this one was that we spent so long crafting chances. We had so many opportunities to really put this game to bed. Milivojevic goes down in the box here. It's a penalty kick, which is rightfully given. And, of course, it will be Milivojevic who steps up to take it. Scored 2 out of 2 spot kicks that he's had so far for us, and I'm going to see him hopefully score 3 out of 3. But it's a big thing because it's like he's gone right for the last 2. Do we switch? Do we go to the left, or do we stay with that right hand side? Last second I decided to swap from right to left, and you're going to see the goalkeeper guesses correctly and does in fact make a decent save from this one, and Jug stops it going to 2-0 to us just before half time. But we had one more opportunity in the first half. Jesse bursting through down the right. His shot, again, saved by the goalkeeper. And this is what I meant. Like, look how many chances we've had in this first half. Felt a bit annoyed to only be going in 1-0 at the break. But then we came out of the second half exactly the same way. Boadu, with his last contribution before he left the field to play as a substitute, was able to try and get himself an opportunity, but he put it wide. At that point, Herrera came on and would take his spot. I didn't feel like Boadu had a great game here, so I decided to make that change. And with 6 to go, a corner ball, Straumann puts it over. I remember saying to myself while I was doing this live, are we going to come back and rue these missed chances? Because all it takes is just one opportunity for your opponents. And I have to give credit, I have to commend and say well done to Fortuna, because what they did is they never gave up. They fought right until the last minute, and this happened. I was so frustrated with us because the amount of opportunities that we wasted to really take this game, make it 2-0 and just put it to bed, make sure of the 3 points. It's inexcusable, really. And if we get a really tough draw in this Champions League, knockout rounds now, if we can't finish off chances here, we're going to struggle when it comes to that. So, frustrated beyond belief, because all we managed to get here was a single point, a 1-1 draw. But like I said, you have to praise Fortuna, who did not give up, fought until the end, and they got their just reward. The 1-1 draw, of course, was still unbeaten in the league. But the fact of the matter is, it was 2 points dropped rather than a point gained there. So frustrated with us because we didn't finish this game off. But of course, that's the way football goes sometimes. After this, I did realise, of course, that I had myself muted. So I did actually put it back. And we were ready to see the reaction to the Champions League draw. So here we go. I know who we've got. Ready for you guys to see it. All right then, my friends. It is time to find out our Champions League draw. Who is it going to be in the knockout rounds? Why? City, who finished second in Group E behind Napoli. Wait a minute, I thought Napoli were in second unless they still had a game to play and I didn't even realise. Because, yeah, they must have done. And I just didn't realise they still had another game to play. But Manchester City are the side that we will face in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Could have got Sporting. I would have liked Sporting, to be honest. But like I said to you, no matter who you pull, it's still going to be an incredibly tough game. So Man City are going to be our opponents. The first of those ties, I believe, is in February. So we have a bit of time between now and then. Obviously, 2 more games to come in December. Then we have a January month where it's not a lot going on. And then, of course, February, we have our first tie in the Champions League against them just after Ajax. It's not ideal timing, straight after an Ajax game. What is that for a week? Sunday, Wednesday, Friday games. What? At least put that one on the Saturday. That's ridiculous. Anyway, forget about that. That, of course, is going to be our tie. We now know it. We now know our fate. Who's your money on, City or us, to advance through to the next round of the Champions League? Of course, this is going to get some nice funding into the club as far as we can go. We can make it all the way to that final. It'll get some extra money in for next season. If you have enjoyed today's episode, though, guys, a massive like would be greatly appreciated. A massive like. A massive thank you. A like would be greatly appreciated. Obviously, thank you for your support as well. I'm butchering this ending today, aren't I? To be fair, it's incredibly hot right now in the UK. I'm going to put it down to that. It's like 20-something degrees, and we don't get that normally. So, yeah, that's what I'm putting it down to. Nevertheless, go, guys. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you are new around here, like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below. Look at that Europa League draw there. Barcelona, Chelsea all in there. It's incredibly tough. I'm so glad we're not in the Europa League this year, put it that way, because it would have been quite tough to win that. So, anyway, I'm talking like we've got a guaranteed chance at the Champions League. Who am I kidding? We're going to get, hopefully, as far as we can and see how it goes for that one. Until next time, have a fantastic week and a fantastic day, and I will see you all again very soon. Adios.